Hello everyone! Today we are going to build an adorable green dinosaur. Now the design for this build was inspired by the cute mini dinosaur that sits on my shoulder in my display picture. Now there's a few details which I think I'm going to change or add to the design. For starters, I'm going to give the dinosaur a mouth because I think otherwise in block form he may look a little bit silly without one. So with that in mind, I plan on trying to scale the design up a bit so that he's standing with his head just above the jungle trees, which you can see in this area. Now, I thought it would be really cool if the front legs were sitting in the water here with one foot a little bit further forward to give the impression that the dinosaur is moving towards us, and then the back feet would be standing on this sand dune that I have put in back here. Now, the main block palette that I want to work with for this build is coal blocks, green concrete, quartz, green and yellow concrete powder, and the lapis blocks. Now I may end up adding a few other blocks as I go along, as I haven't got a complete idea of where I want this build to go yet. Now, to get started with this build and to get an idea of how big it really needs to be, I thought I would start with one of the smallest details, which is the dinosaur's toes. And what I really wanted to do here was retain the black outline that goes around the white toe in the middle. So you can see here as I build up these two toes, the feet are going to be quite large. So I think what we're going to need to do is have maybe only 3 or 4 toes per foot. Now, the other detail that I'm a little bit worried about is the dinosaur's eyes. Now, they have adorable smiling eyes, but as it's a cartoon, it might be a little bit hard to replicate that emotion in block form. So, yeah, see, if I try and do the triangle shape, it just looks like the toes now. So what I'll do is try a few different options, but ultimately I might have to wait and see how it turns out once we have the actual structure in place. So with all that in mind, let's get started with this build. And that is about half of the build complete already. So if we jump back into the first person here, you can see that I have built up the legs, put in a bit of a framework for the body and tail, and then I went along and I built up the chest and lower half of the body. And so far, I'm really happy with how the shape is coming along. These organic structures can be so difficult to build, and I know it's a little bit blocky, but that's to be expected because it is Minecraft. Now, the next step for this build is slowly bringing up the front section to make the neck and then putting the head on top. And after I've done that, I'll build up the tail and connect the whole thing together by filling in the dinosaur's back. So let's jump back into that time lapse and I will check back in once this build is looking a little more complete. That is the shape of our dinosaur all done. Now all that's left is adding in some details. So my plan is to put in some yellow spines running from the top of the head all the way down to the tip of the tail. And on the dinosaur's chest, I'm going to swap out that lime green concrete for the concrete powder to provide a little bit of an accent there, which is going to require a lot of string. And lastly, I'm going to add in all the details for his face and maybe have a cheeky tongue poking out as well. And here is the finished product. I am so happy with how this dinosaur turned out. I think he is just the cutest. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What would you have done differently? Now it is time to say goodbye, so thank you so much for watching and for your support on this channel. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to see more fun builds like this one. Alright, bye bye.